Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. Well, not sure what happened to the stream yesterday. A little while after I couldn't get it going. I spent some time going through the settings and everything seemed okay. And then after dinner, I figured I'd do some testing. And I went and fired it up and it connected fine. So, don't know what happened. It's connecting fine now. So we'll see what happens. Hey, Kevin. So today we're going to carry on our tour along the south side of Lake Erie. We're currently in Dunkirk, and we're going to be making a few stops as we head out to the western end of Lake Erie. Brutal weather out here. Well, actually beautiful. It's partly cloudy. We've got temperatures over 30 degrees Celsius. Afternoon pop-up thunderstorms, haze, all that good summer stuff going on. So it's going to be a hot one, but we'll get the big fans here spinning, and we should be good for the trip. So we got 4 legs in front of us today. We're leaving Dunkirk here, and we're going to be flying down to Erie, our first stop. From there, we're flying down to Cleveland. We're going to land at the Lakefront Airport in Cleveland, and then after that, we're going to head down to Port Clinton at the western end of Lake Erie. We'll make stops at each one as we go. So, thanks for coming along, and I hope you are doing well. Quick weather check here. We got an updated. The sky is clear, more or less. It's 32.2 degrees Celsius, 5-knot variable wind, 10 miles of visibility, and we got a good QNH that we will dial in of 3016. So let's get on board, and we can start getting the aircraft ready. So 3016, we'll get that set up. There we go. That is now in. So on with the power. We're going to take the pitot covers off now, and we'll get everything ready to go. She's fueled up, empty today. Covers are off. Flight engineer and load master are out, and we are pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to pull up my procedures here, and we'll pop up top and start going through. So EAPS engine fan doors are closed. The EAPS system is not installed actually, but that's fine. External lights, we're going to turn both anti-collision lights top and bottom on. We're going to make them bright, and they're in normal mode. Co-pilot lighting is all set. Searchlight switch is set to off. Cabin temperature is set to cool, and we are going to set it to blower only. Electrical switches are all off. Crossfeed and fuel pumps are all off. Miss Molly just walked in to say hi. We're going to come down here, make sure our start switch is off, and our engines, our condition levers are all in stop. NR is at 100%. Pry rev switches are in pry. Backup power is off. Load share is in torque. Internal lighting is all set up already and ready to go. Pilot lighting is good. We got it set to the dim position, which we use during the daytime. Anti-ice is off. Coming down here to the hook, we're set for tandem, and everything else is off and guarded. And we are good there with the emergency release and cable cuts. Hydraulic power transfer switches are off. Hydraulic flight control switches are off. Fire pole handles are in. VGI switch to normal. Cyclic trim switch is set to auto, and the AFCS switch is set off. All right. So we come in our power up. Hi, Molly. You're gonna have to lie down for a bit. I'm working now. All right, up to the overhead. So the left main fuel pumps are coming on. Crossfeed switch is now opening. Engine 1 condition lever will go to ground. And we're going to start engine number 1. So moving down here, we're monitoring. Actually, we're on the wrong one here. Sorry, got ahead of myself. Molly got a slight distraction there. Got to power this thing up first. There we go. All right. So battery switch coming on. Caution light test. We are looking good. Back up top, we're going to start the APU. So APU to run, APU to start. There we go, and APU generator is now on. Hydraulic transfer switch is coming on. Parking brake lever is confirmed set. FADEC backup power is now on. Engine condition levers are confirmed both in stop. EAPS fan switches are both on. And we'll let them know we're about to start. Wish you could hear the bell outside. Should we get a nice overhead view there. Alright, so now we can move on to our engine start check. So main fuel switch is coming on, cross feeds on. Engine 1 to ground, and starting engine 1. Initial rotor spin, you can see the counter rotating rotors there. Pretty ingenious. There's the 10%. Starter off. Coming down the monitor, we have fuel pressure building up on the N1. And you can see where the blades are interlacing. They handle the droop really well in this. Looks good. So we are up at above 50%, so we're going to come back up. We're going to start engine number 2. Condition lever going to ground, and starting engine 2. Oil pressure coming up, N1 coming up. It's 10%. Starter off. Looking good and sounding good. Alright, there's our 50%, and our transmission pressure is above 7%. So both engines going into flight mode. Generator 1 and 2 are coming on. AP generator now coming off. Hydraulic transfer switches are off, and the APU is coming off as well. Alright, all the fuel pumps are now coming on. Letting her warm up. Make sure everything is good to go. So parking brake lever is on. That's fine. AFCS switch is going to both. Cyclic trim to auto. Power steering is not required. Transponder and radios. So we're going to come down here as normal 1228. And for the transponder, set TARA, and there we go. 5556 is in. There's our TACAM and our ADF. None of which we are using today, as we're all doing visual flight along the lake. Alright, so again, winds are currently out of the... let's close that. Nowhere. They're just kind of blowing around, variable. But we are going to take off and head out towards the lake. We're currently facing south. That is all good. Alright, we are up and ready to go. get myself set here. That's better. Alright, so manual brakes are on. Parking brake is released. The bottom door is done. And closed. Wind's out of the nowhere. That's what the Metar says. It says 5 knots coming from an unknown direction. Just completely variable. There we go. I do like this helicopter. You can see how she's got to be nose up to hover. Turn her towards the lake. Go. And let's head out. Once again, we'll go up to about 1,000 feet and then we'll follow the lake along. In over the town. Still climbing up. We got Dunkirk here and Fredonia just slightly to the south. Railroad hub. Yeah, we're going to be tracking along the lake here. So somewhere around there, and off we go. So as mentioned, we're heading down to Erie. And we'll be landing there. A little brown movement down by my feet there. Molly was just adjusting her position. We're going to leave the doors open in the back. Get some air moving through the helicopter. Just enjoy our view. be a far flight along the lake here. As mentioned, this is one of the shallower lakes, or the shallowest of the Great Lakes, actually. That haze ahead of us, and then if you look to the south, you can see the rolling terrain starting in. So yeah, it's pretty hot in here right now. I got a couple fans going on me. Computer's got all the fans going. Of course, it's liquid cooled. Even though I got the AC going, still almost 34 degrees out. We are in multiplayer on the multiplayer Northern Europe server, so if you want to come and join us, the route is in the description. Find out where we are, what our next stop is, and join us there. So 37 miles out from the next stop. To give us some good touch and go or landing practices anyway. So I got some running around to do tomorrow. I'm hoping to be back in time for the stream. It's my plan. So the last stream of this week will be on tomorrow. And then we'll be back on Tuesday next week with the next one. Thursday I head to Vegas for Flight Sim Expo. So looking forward to that. All these nice little towns coming up that we're flying over. Sure, they're all standing outside pointing up at the helicopter going by. Temperature and pressure check. Looking good. View at the back. And seeing some of that weather out there. Going to get some thermal convection storms coming in. In fact, one of the METARs actually said that there's a chance of storms in the area, so it's further down. We'll see what happens. drifting a little bit on a right lean there. Some good news with the 777 coming out. Looking forward to playing around with that, getting her ready to fly. Fly UK does fly the 777-300ER with Satan out of the States. Mostly, a few flights out of Denver, but mostly out of San Francisco. So looking forward to getting my hands on that once I'm back from Vegas. It's got a slight left lean on her now. Try to do a trim adjustment, it kind of overdoes it, so we'll just have to live with that. And she's good, cruising at a 150 knot cruise speed. Nicely trimmed out. And we're chugging along. 24 miles to go to the airport. The Erie airport. So just gonna quickly take a look at the airport. Alright, so it's a fair size. We are going to come in and again we'll fly down runway 24 and then we're going to do a hover taxi over and we'll land on the apron and then we'll take off from there. Once I have reset all my info displays and stuff for the next leg, and reset Navigraph. Little marina down here. The little community over there that we can see just past the center bar there is called Northeast. So rather creatively named. We're in Ohio now. So Kevin, I was going through those tiger moth liveries and I think I'm just going to stick with the one I sent you in the photos. It's nice and colorful and it stands out from the one you'll have if you use the one you're designing, so it'll be a good variation. And you've got it since it comes with the aircraft. A little bit of a cliff down here. Again, the purpose of these flights is to circle around all 5 of the Great Lakes. We've done Lake Ontario. We came down one side of Lake Huron. We're now closing off Lake Erie, and that will be 2 of the 5 when we get to our destination. We'll be pretty much closed off, and we'll have 3 more to go. Granted, they're the 3 bigger ones, but it's all good. Parched brown farmland out there. Summer heat. Turn a little bit inwards to the shore here. I can see the airport up ahead. I can see the airport light anyway. We're about 14 miles out now. We're coming up on the town of Erie. You can see the little bit of an island system they've got coming out of downtown, creating a bit of a harbor that's coming into view. Airport's on the other side of town. Alright, here's the town coming up. So about 5 miles out, we'll start slowing down and descending. Currently about 10 miles now. And you can see the airport ahead of us. There's the harbor. Again, another big shipping town. This is a good third of the way down the lake from the other side, from the end, so a good place to put a shipping town. Move to get ourselves lined up now. Altitude hold is off. We'll start descending down. And again, you got to pre-plan your movements in this thing. It does not slow down quickly or react quickly to your inputs. There's a bit of a time lag. All right, so we'll start pulling back. Start bringing that speed down. Watching our altitude, 500 feet. fly this like an airplane. Not exactly. About 50 knots over the runway. And we're going to fly down to the far end. Winds are pretty calm. We're at about 50 feet. There's the terminal. Take the next one here, down to about 37 feet. So the wind is coming in from our back now. So again, it's pretty variable. So neutralizing the trims. Small little airport here. And we're going to put her down over here. While we do this, we'll spin her around, get her facing into the wind. There we go. And we'll bring her down. Go. We are down. So we'll get the parking brake on and we will set up for the next leg. And our next leg is going to be going from Erie. We're heading down to Cleveland, but not Cleveland International. We're going to Burke Lakefront Airport in Cleveland. Alright, so that is set up. Now we just change the overhead. There we go. All right, if everybody is ready, let's go flying. Out to the lake, and away we go. We're level at about 1,000 feet. Just working the pitches to get our speed up. And we are off to Cleveland. .71 miles to go. That's probably one of the longest leg on this trip. All right, so 3015 is the barrow at Erie. Dialed in. There we go. And the weather is clear, 29.4 degrees, 6-knot winds out of the north, and everything else is looking good. Flying by these little communities here along the lake. Just have to turn my little fan up full. I'm sweating here as I'm doing this. So it looks like we got a bit of a cliff coast moving along this part of the lake as well. Nothing too severe, but gives it a nice edge. Cleveland is another industrial town, also known for being the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I've actually never been to. Should go down there one day, drop in for a visit. Actually take the bike down there, head down to the other end of the lake, cross over at Detroit, Windsor, and come up on the south side of Lake Erie, stop in Cleveland and carry on around, cross back over Niagara Falls. Could be an interesting trip. Coming up to the little town of Canal. To watch, there's a wind turbine down by the water here. I think I can see it. Temperature and pressure checks are all good. Fuel's good. And we're looking good. We had a beautiful day for flying, nice and calm on the lakes. You can see the reflections of the clouds there. Looking very nice. Yeah, there's that wind turbine. It is on the charts. So as I mentioned, this is the lakefront airport in Cleveland that we're flying into, not the bigger Cleveland. I think it's an international airport. So it should be kind of scenic coming in over the town of Cleveland there. Don't know what the scenery will be like, but we will see when we get there. There's about 60 miles out. There's the town. And again, we're just going to follow along the lake here. Having a good old time. Watching my artificial horizon. Keep getting the feeling that I've overcorrected for the lateral trim, but it seems to be holding steady. Can't tell if that's just the land curving away or what's going on there. We'll turn in to follow along the coastline once again. Again, we're using a simple barrel hold here to hold us at altitude. Not the radar altimeter. I find that a little bit too sensitive, especially over land, because it picks up buildings and everything and you're bouncing around. This way, because the pressures are so similar and it's not a great distance for flying, we could use that, and it holds us nicely at the barrow altitude I set, which is generally about 1,000 feet above the ground, so we get a nice view. So built up community coming up. Map says it's the town of Harbor, but I'm not sure. There is a harbor though. Plus some lakeside industry. A lot of steel works and stuff along the lake here. You can see the green lights from the paneling. Oh. Looks like I left the parking brake on when we took off. That's fine. We didn't roll anywhere. It was a straight off into a hover. You can definitely see where cargo ships would have come in and unloaded. Probably a raw ore. They do a lot of raw ore shipments here on the lake. Some of it goes into Hamilton, some of it would come in here, a bunch of it goes into Wisconsin up on Superior. In fact, you can see rail lines coming in. It's like piles of probably iron ore, other chemicals. Put them on trains, ship them out to wherever they're going to be processed. It's the industrial heart of the American Industrial Revolution, I guess. It's where all your iron and steel and copper, aluminum probably came from up in these areas. Lots of water in the lakes for the process. Anyway, we're leaving that industrial area behind, heading back out into the smaller communities out here. Miles out, roughly. Looking good. Following the main road along the lake here, though it is going to turn off in a little town coming up. This is Geneva on the lake, and at the far end it appears that this main road turns south. Not leaving a lot out here. Yeah, there's the road making its turn to the south there. A little bit of a marina down below. And it looks like we got a power plant coming up. Little town of Driftwood ahead of us here. A little view of it there. Cooling towers. This is Madison on the Lake coming up now. Very green area. You see the golf course there. We might have rain ahead. Let's do a check here at the weather at Burke Lakefront. Yeah, light rain. Winds are 10 to 15 knots out of the east. 7 miles of visibility, 3,000 foot ceiling. See, we're coming into that now. And 3016, so we'll get down here and make that adjustment. There we go. Get them to close up the doors if we're going to be heading into rain. We'll come landward of the cooling towers here. Ben. Don't know who Ben is, but he's over there. And there's Chapareed 93. And his 737 looks like an 800 max. Cooling towers. Starting to get rain on the windows. Some of that afternoon convection storm stuff moving through. So again, the winds are fairly strong out of the east, so we're going to have to swing around the airport and come in from the western edge. Won't be a problem. We're 30 miles out. coming up towards Fairport Harbor. Baseball diamonds. Oh, a lot of them too. Little sporting complex there. That's Fairport Harbor ahead of us there with the channel coming in from the lake. A lot of dark cloud. There's definitely rain over there. And then we're going to, oh, another town called Driftwood. This is Fairport Harbor. Driftwood. And we're going to keep following the lake here. Now coming up slightly to the left of the lake shore is an airport. That is Lake County Executive Airport. We're not going in there. We'll fly by on the lake side of it. As we come into the town of Mentor on the Lake. Yeah, definitely got some heavy clouds out there. Definitely see more heavy rainfall ahead. Alright, this will be an interesting one. There's the Lake County, technically the Willoughby Lake County Executive Airport. I'd say it was a 3,000 foot ceiling, so we are good there. We're coming up into the outskirts of Cleveland now. 16 miles to go. This would appear to be a coal-fired power station. Has both a shipping docks and it looks like rail. Bring in the coal. Oh yeah, weather's getting interesting here. doesn't seem to do anything on the radio altimeter. We go up here for a second and go like this. It didn't do much either. Okay then. Oh yeah, that's that weather is getting not good. 12 miles out. And we're still following the coast. I think what we're going to do is we're going to drop down to 500 feet now. There's 700. Not expecting too many quick elevation changes around here. We'll bring her down to 600. Still kind of along the coastline here. Still in that rain. Got a rail yard over there. Alright, here's Cleveland downtown coming up. And I can see the airport lights. We're going to fly by and then we will come in and land. First Officer Molly's just taking a position beside me. Manual control here. Get ready to start slowing up. So south side far end is where we're going to be landing. Normally we come in over the water and use that as where we're coming in from, but with the cloud and the rain and everything, our visibility is down. We'll come in over land so we can maintain visual contact with the ground. There's the airport. Parallel runways. speed back. Oh, there's the baseball stadium, or the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Indians? Yeah, Cleveland Indians play. Get her turned around, and we're going to put her down in front of the tower there. Speed back to that rate of descent. We are down. Oh, welcome to Cleveland. It's the downtown area. Ballpark's over there. Very, very nice. Okay, let's get the last leg punched in. And we are heading from here over to Kilo Papa Charlie Whiskey. Excuse me, Port Clinton. It's not very far away. 50 miles. Once again, we'll come down here and update our screen. Go. This guy's out watching for a departure. Throw takeoff, we'll turn and head out over the ballpark, heading to the west. Brakes on, parking brake off. With the wind behind us. That's okay. Away we go. The storm is just over Cleveland here. There's the stadium. First Energy Stadium. Again, we'll follow the lake. we got the other side of that little storm front. Alright, so the weather in Port Clinton, scattered clouds, 3011 and 8-knot winds out of the west. Alright. 3011. Away we go. 50 miles to go on our last leg for today. And we're back out into sunshine. So once again, we are following the lake here. Shore of said lake, Lake Erie. So might make our route slightly longer than what it's showing, but it's all good. We're on our last leg now. And we've been doing good. Engines are good, pressures, temperatures are good, fuel is good. And we're heading up to something called the Avon Stacks. It's kind of a VFR waypoint. You kind of see it ahead. This is going to take us out towards the western end of Lake Erie, which will position us for the next one, which should be tomorrow, to finish Lake Erie by looping around the western edge, back up to the north side of the lake, and then on from there. To do a little sweat removal. Hot in this thing, flight suit, helmet, all that good stuff. Corner here. Back out into the nice weather. There's the Avon Stacks right ahead. Once again, possibly another power plant. Got some heavy-duty power transmission towers there. "37 miles to go." You know, just following along here as we go. Wind turbine coming up. And we're looking good. So again, beautiful day out. Doors open once again, get air moving through the helicopter, keep the crew cool anyway. So this is our final destination for today's legs coming up. Town of Amherst on the horizon after the river here. Again, looks like a huge industrial area over there. Fed in by shipping off the lake here through the canal. Lots of VFR waypoints around this area. Avon Stacks was one of them. Coming up on another one called Vermilion. We'll see what's there. See how easy these things are to spot. Nice little park. Marina. "32 miles away. Again, we're not going quite to the western end of the lake on this one. We're getting most of the way there, and we'll wrap her up on the next stream. Start to see the end where she's starting to narrow down. Coming up for Vermilion, it should be up here somewhere on this tip. I wonder if there's a distinguishing landmark. Again, it's a VFR navigation checkpoint or call-in point. Use it as a reference. I'm going to give you the number of airports in the area. There's a whole whack of them around here. It seems to be just on the other side where it starts to curve down again. I wonder if it's that little spit of land. seems to be this little bunch of houses on the water here. It is marked on the charts. It says it's Vermilion, right? I'm flying over it right now. I was checking to see what the landmark was, and it looks like it's this little community on the water here that we can see below. This is it here. So, nice little community for them. 24 miles out from our destination. We're going to be flying past Hindi Airport. Looks like a little grass field, perhaps. 88 Delta is its designation, which means it's not a major, or what you consider a major airport. That'll be coming up shortly. Interesting. Before I did the flight, I did a weather check on the Navigraph on the radar for rain, and that storm didn't appear when we hit in Cleveland, so that was interesting. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of them around here, so, and some of them are just out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know what's actually there other than they may show up on a GPS, an aeronautical GPS, I don't know. It's like some of them are recognizable landmarks and some of them just are there. Some farmer's field. Turn here, we're going to follow the curve of the lake here. Yeah, it might be, but a little bit busy at the moment. And I'm not actually flying down towards it, so. Alright, there's the channel going in, and looking good. Wind tower there. There's the airfield. Tucked right in on the curve of the highway here. It's that little strip right there. You just see it right there. It's a little farmer's field before the interstate was put in. A golf course. Alright, so we're coming up now on a place you've probably heard of. This is Sandusky. I mean, I've heard of it. Now we're going to head out onto an island here. You can see the island ahead, and that is where our airport is. 13 miles out. We'll fly over the main bridge line. That looks suspiciously like an airport, and it is not on the charts. Huh. Interesting. I think it's overlaid right over something else. I wonder if that's a glitching error. Anyway, here's Sandusky. Another lakeside port town. It's following the railroad tracks now as we head up towards the bridges that head over to those barrier islands there. Gonna have to take little first officer Molly out after this, but it's pretty hot out. She gets pretty tired, worn out, that thick coat she's got. Although I did get her shaved down for the summer, it's still pretty hot out. So I'll take her out for a little bit. I'm not sure if this is an island or not. It might be connected at the far end. Yeah, it's connected. It's just a promontory with a bridge over it, so you don't have to go all the way to the end and around. Alright, 7 miles out. Airport's going to be on the north side of the road. Kind of over that way, I can sort of see the lights. Follow the road bridge. Do a little bit of manual flying here. Final checks. We got the barrow and winds are out of the west. Nice stealthy approach. They'll never see us coming. It's supposed to be a rail bridge over there somewhere. There's the airport. So we're going to be aiming for the south side. not very graceful on our approaches, but that's fine. And we are down. Alright, let's get the doors open in the back. Get the guys out. And we can begin our shutdown. Alright, flight controls are neutralized, parking brakes are set. Heater switches are off. AFCF switch is off. APU start. There we go. APU generator is on. Engine generators 1 and 2 are now off. Hydraulic transfers are on. Ground or condition levers to ground. Cross feed is closed. Alright, we are good. Now we're going to shut down the engines. Condition levers go to stop. APS fans are off. Fade up to backup power is off. AP generator is off. APU is off. And we'll leave the battery and lights on as she powers down. So that's it for another flight as we do our circumnavigation of the lakes. We'll be back tomorrow on the next one. Thursday I head to Vegas, as I mentioned, heading to Flight Sim Expo, so there'll be no more streams. I return on Monday night, but we will be streaming again on Tuesday and hopefully on Wednesday as well. After Wednesday, I'll be taking a bit of a break and won't be streaming again until August. I'm going to take a month or so off. There'll be some videos in between to fill the space and put up some stuff on the channel, but there'll be no live streams until August when I come back. Information will be posted on the Discord of when the next flight is going to be. You can find all the information on the Discord. The links are in the description, and you can come over and find out what we're flying, when and where. And as per always, the live streams are community flights. If you want to fly along, you are more than welcome to fly along. You can find out what we're flying, when and where, whether it's on VATSIM or on the Northern Europe multiplayer server. It is all good. So thanks for coming along and joining us for the flight. Kevin, thank you very much for dropping in once again. And we will see you all on the next one, hopefully tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.